Juliet Alpha.
What is going on
What's
here?
happening?
I don't know. On you? Air controls.
Summer County traffic, 121 Uniform Charlie, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. We're going to be landing on runway 4. We're losing engine power.
So after our emergency yesterday and everything that happened to us, there's obviously a lot that we can carry with us into today's lessons.
All right, so as far as our departure briefing goes today, let's be really specific with it now, right? We're taking off at 22. If we have an emergency on the runway before rotation, we're gonna pull the power to idle, abort the takeoff. If we have an emergency, let's pick a number here now, 1400, okay? If we are below 1400 feet and our engine shuts off, we're not gonna try and return to the airport. That's about 550 feet above the ground, right? If we're above 1400 feet, we're gonna make a right turn today and come back around.
Okay, and basically right turn back to 22.
Yes,
Okay.
or back to
Four,
4
back to
technically,
4, okay.
yeah.
Rudders only.
All right.
Right rudder.
Yep.
Throttle. Rotate.
After our emergency yesterday, a Baron actually ran off the side of our runway, and hopefully we can use that as a positive.
It shows how quickly something can change if Matt didn't do such a great job with his emergency landing.
It's going to be a sluggish climb today because that density altitude's so high, it's so hot outside.
There's the gusts.
Yep.
I'm like shaking.
You're okay. Just because of the wind though, right?
I think it's a combination of everything.
A new plane and all this
It's
stuff.
the new plane that's trying to figure out this rudder because I'm right on balls, but I'm
Yeah.
getting tossed by the wind and everything else. I wouldn't call it scared. I'm just hypersensitive.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. So this might be a good day for some ground reference maneuvers where we actually have some wind, so you can actually get the feel of how wind really affects the plane. And I want you to get an eye for looking outside and seeing yourself drift to one side or the other versus the direction that your nose is facing. So as we get leveled out here, even though we haven't heard anybody else make any radio calls around here, that doesn't mean that there's not anybody else out here. Because most of our airplanes from the flight school, we always use this frequency because this is kind of our designated practice area. So we talk to each other while we're out here, but that doesn't mean any other planes from flying through the area have to talk to us. So one really nice feature that we have here is a Sentry hooked up to our ForeFlight on our iPad here. So we have weather and traffic information available to us. ForeFlight here, we do have a little bit of traffic that is going to be behind us and off to our left wing, and it looks like they're down at about 2,000 feet, tracking along Route 32 out there. They should not be any factor. We're kind of heading away from them here, so whenever you're ready, we can start with some clearing turns, and then we can get ready for some slow flight, and we're going to be practicing power on stalls today as well.
Okay. Right at 55, now I can pitch up.
Yep,
So
and full power.
Full power.
Yep, pitch
Right
up.
rudder,
Yeah,
pitch up.
there you go. This is good. Yep, more right rudder.
Right rudder.
There you go.
Come on.
Perfect. Now down. Now right there.
So on today's flight, we went up and we did slow flight, we did power on stalls, but we also did turns around a point as well.
Trying to maintain the same distance, so you're constantly adjusting your bank a little bit less here.
Less bank?
Yep.
Alright.
Good with the pitch. Good job. Yeah, less bank. Kind of roll it out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm coming too close to it.
Yeah, we were just a little aggressive with that first part of the turn. One thing that's kind of bugs people out sometimes about these turns around a point is you might not be constantly turning. You might have to level out because the wind might be really strong. Go ahead and almost level out here. So even though it still is a turn around a point, you might not have that constant bank in, and that kind of messes with people's brains sometimes. All right, there's your heading.
Rolling out.
Okay, look how much better that one was.
Yes.
It was, you ended a little bit closer, but it was much more of a circle than the first one was. So, good job.
You know, I haven't seen a golf course. A little weird.
Oh, we have a ton of them. Yeah, they, probably not as much as Florida, I'm sure. I say a ton, but I'm like, yeah, I see like, 3 or 4.
You know, like literally we'd see like 6 or 7.
And then after that, we came in and we did 2 landings.
So we do have a bit of a crosswind right now. So 260 at 16, or gusting 16. So I'm going to do this first landing.
Okay, please.
My controls.
Your controls.
To demonstrate a crosswind landing.
This is daunting.
Crosswind landings?
Yes.
Good to know. Okay, so the key to crosswind landings, like I said before, center line and not side loading the airplane.
I demonstrated 1 crosswind landing. Not too well, I might add, unfortunately.
So just adjusting my power, my altitude here. Now bringing that power to idle.
Like a good instructor does, you have to show what a not perfect landing is before you show what a perfect landing is.
Just starting my flare now. I didn't quite do it in time.
Claremont County 2386 Victor is taking runway 4, departing to the east. Claremont County. All right, we're good. Down feet, full throttle.
Good center line.
55, rotate.
Awesome.
Right rudder, nose down a little bit.
Yep.
More right rudder. There we go.
Good job.
Nose down a little bit more. Claremont County 2386 Victor is departing the pattern eastbound. Claremont County.
Clouds are always that optical illusion, It's really hard to tell how tall they actually are. Sometimes you think you're right below them, and then you climb like 500 feet and you're still...
Especially when it's full coverage.
Yeah.
Trying to feel what a 30
Yeah.
looks like.
That's it.
And don't forget about the rudder.
That's right. Feels so much nicer. There's no dent in my door over here from my elbow, like...
Oh, your head?
Yeah, that's right.
Today was a nice chill flight. We went up and we practiced simulated emergencies. Just 1 engine failure. We couldn't get too high because of the clouds.
We're just going to kind of start off with that emergency today. So what I'm going to do is anytime we practice an engine failure, I just pull the power out to idle and say, oh no, we lost our engine. What do we do?
You pitch for best glide.
Yes, that's first thing.
So down.
Nope, up. Up is going to slow your speed down and keep you in the air for the longest amount of time possible. And feel free to trim.
Right, there's...
Alright, what's our next thing?
Find a spot.
Yes.
So we've got a ton of stuff right here.
Yeah, there's a lot out to the right. I'd head that way.
All right.
And do you remember the floor to door next?
So we've got making sure fuel's on both.
Yep. Nose down a little bit more. There you go.
Okay, I'm like not. That, the fuel is off.
Yep.
And then the static air.
Yep.
And then mixture.
And then we have 2 more things.
And then max.
Yep. And the other one is right over there as well, fuel pump.
Fuel pump off.
Yep. No, we want it on.
So go
Not
ahead.
actually, no,
Okay.
but okay. But if we really had an engine failure, it may have been because the engine-driven fuel pump failed. So if we turn on our auxiliary fuel pump, that may actually get it going again. Okay, so where are you thinking now over here?
So over where the silos are, basically,
Okay.
to the right of the silos. So as we get lower, does it get harder to continue pitching up? Or is that just me?
It's probably just because your arm is fatiguing a little bit because you've been doing it for a while.
Right.
Let's go ahead and go around so you can go full power.
Right, full power.
And we can start to climb out.
Right, climb.
So because we weren't able to get that much altitude today, we didn't go through the rest of the checklist, and you can kind of see how quickly, like, we were at 3,300 feet fades, right?
Right.
Like we had a couple minutes, but there really wasn't that much, and we wanted to use all of our energy finding the right field instead of going through the rest of the checklist. So I thought you did a really good job saying, there's a group of fields over there, I'm going to go to them, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do after that. And then as you did, as you were gliding down, you said, this one, no, maybe this one looks better. That's what I like to see. I don't want to just see like, I'm going with that one, come hell or high water, that is the field I'm landing in.
So we practiced the one engine failure, and then we introduced steep turns, which she actually handled pretty well.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Your controls.
My controls.
Okay, you got the huge white buildings out there.
Huge white buildings. And then we are going to go right.
And right rudder.
Right rudder.
Pick the nose up.
Yeah.
More.
A little bit more too.
This
There
is
we go.
what you're
Yep.
looking for. There you go, that's it.
I'm like, there's something else.
Yeah, what is it?
Alright, there's my 45-ish.
Yeah, that's it. This is
Light
looking...
rudder.
Yes, you're looking really good.
Yeah. A little bit lost in a little bit. There we go.
Yep, awesome. You're mostly looking outside, but you do have to scan inside.
Steep turns are fun. It's another one of those things that she tried, and then she said, you know, I was making it out to be more nerve-wracking in my head than it actually is.
All right, there's your white building, so roll out on your white building.
Roll out, push down.
That's right. Yeah, oh yeah, look at that. So good. So good. You were within 50 feet on that turn. Isn't that fun? Like that's...
Yeah, it's not as daunting. Again, it's one of those...
I know, you say steep turns and you're like,
Yeah.
oh no.
I'm
But it's
sideways.
yeah, commercial steep turns are more fun. But private pilot steep turns, you know.
I almost think that she gained a bit of confidence after that emergency. I know sometimes that can be weird to hear, but knowing that the plane will try and take care of you as well as it can, even when things go wrong, you can gain confidence in that.
That other plane is supposedly just off. It is, yeah.
I got him.
Oh yeah, I see him right now too. Man, as soon as you said that, I saw him.
I think that's 23 to 3.
Oh, wow. Okay. A successful emergency landing's 1-0. I'm just saying.
Want to bet?
Yeah, no. One of the things that I was kind of concerned about coming into the series was like, with you flying the airplane so much, I knew that you weren't going to be able to eat while you're flying. So what I did is I figured like someone had to eat still, right? It had to be one of us. So I thought that I would take one for the team and kind of bring a snack up here. By the way, Cool Ranch is the best flavor of Dorito. I'm just saying.
Spicy nacho has a special place in my heart, but yes, Cool Ranch is just such a classic.
I mean, don't try and get any. You're flying. I'm the one that can eat.
No, it's so funny because that's the whole argument. That's why I was so mad when yesterday he's like, yeah, just eat your sandwich while you're flying. I'm like, absolutely not.
Yep.
Like, I see where, you know, he's like, when I'm about to fly, I don't eat. He turns, like, not hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that. I can't wait to land the Baron.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It'll be very interesting.
I'm sure Chris can't wait either.
His pucker factor is going to come back.
I'm sure.
So literally, I mean, that's the whole thing is he's like, I don't care that you land the twin. It's that the nose strut is so expensive.
Right.
We're not breaking it.
Right.
He's like, that's the issue. He's like, I just don't want to spend the money. And I'm like, I get it. He's like, I want you to bounce the crap out of a rental, but I'm not bouncing it. So what, like,
yeah.
Where are we at here?
No, you really haven't bounced it very much.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, I'm waiting for it.
Right.
Like, I know it's going to happen. You can't say that it's not.
One thing that makes me really nervous with a student that has never had a bouncy landing before is what happens when their first bouncy landing is when they're actually by themselves and I'm not there to help them. They need to go through those things to know how to recover from those, and so that when it happens and there's no one there to help them, they know what to do to get out of it.
All right, now bring that power to idle. Since we do have a little extra speed, we can bleed off. And we will float all the way there. A little soon on that nose up. Now I'll start it. Yep, now kind of hold it pretty steady. Now start bringing it up more. Up more, up more.
Oh,
There's that nose. Now nose up. There you go. Stop that porpoise. There you
At the
go.
beginning of our training, one thing that was very apparent was that she had some inherent skill with the plane. She was handling the plane very well physically, but it was her mental situation that was not there yet. Her mental game just wasn't up to par. I believe that we've really been progressing on that lately. The more things that she does, the more confidence that she gains. So she's really starting to get close to that solo. We're starting to wrap things up, put everything together, and now we're starting to see the finish line for that first solo.
Yeah, I tried to do a big turn like you told me to. I did a whole quarter and...
That's why you never listen to me.
You heard it.
It's again, a lot of this stuff I feel like has been, you've worked yourself up so much before the flights.
She's getting to that point now where she knows that she can do it, and so she just does it.